Hey, it's Dominic D'Angelo. It's just me right now. Robert will be here shortly. But yes, I am Dominic D'Angelo. I am of Studio One Sports. I am of Rumor and Innuendo. I sound like Seth Rollins. But I'm happy to be here with all you guys and gals today. We're going to talk WWE Raw, maybe some other stuff. I have not looked at the dirt sheets, but we did check out Raw after SummerSlam. And I have some thoughts. I'm sure Robert has some thoughts. But let's say hi to some folks in the chat here at the moment. We have Triple E. He says, "What's up? Good job with Linda Cohn show, Dom. Much more interesting than Raw." That's right. Me and Linda Cohn, we went live yesterday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we chatted a whole bunch of stories in sports, including Aaron Rodgers going off on Pat McAfee. We talked about Tony Romo's situation, the WNBA and its continued insanity that goes down. And we answered some fan questions too. It was a lot of fun. We also talked about the LA Dodgers as well. So if you're a sports fan, be sure to go type in Linda Cohn. You'll see it pop right up on YouTube, the channel. So be sure to subscribe to that. Check it out. I pop on at the end usually and do fan questions with Linda. So you do get to see this face yet again. But yes, thank you, Triple E, for tuning in. Triple E was very active in the chat, actually, that day, too. Cami Star says, "After morning." Hello, Cami. Wanna breeze? That's Jeff Henninger. He says, "Hello, R&I. I'm glad to say that I have not been eaten by a shark." Good to know. Good to know. And then Cami says, "Why do I think it's going to be a long 5 months of TV?" It's getting that feeling, right? I'm getting that feeling for sure. We have Wrestling Old Head in the house. He says, "Good afternoon, all. I know they're are stretching it out, but imagine if Obafemi came out instead of LA Knight last night." Yeah, I want to talk about that for sure. Dre Owen says, "Hello, R&I. Who had a better promo, LA Knight, Becky Lynch, or Big Cass?" Yeah, Becky Lynch is a pleasant surprise. We'll talk about that for sure, too. Let's see. I'll add Wrestling Old Head's comment here. "Becky was entertaining. In my opinion, LA Knight got the best of Roman by a hair." Yeah, I mean, Roman's promo was not that good. Like, let's be honest. I think Raw overall, I mean, was not that good. It feels like it's going to be a long 5 months, like Cammy said. I mean, you have Roman come out. He's gloating. Like, not really a baby face, okay? No. Then you have LA Knight come out. All right, that's fine. That's fine. But what the F is Obafemi doing? Wouldn't he just be like, "I want my match tonight"? And he would have every right to get that match tonight in Des Moines. Is that where they were at? Des Moines, Iowa? Like, it's funny that Obafemi is dressed like an altar server. Like, I was an altar boy when I was a kid. And, so did the whole mass thing, and ring the bell, carry the cross, all that stuff. But Oba has taken a vow of celibacy for the WWE Championship, because what the heck is going on? It makes zero sense. Zero sense. Yeah, you want to run it out. You're getting to the point. It's getting concerning that you're not putting Oba in the title picture. All right. Yeah, you want to make this. You want to draw it out as long as possible. It's not the thing to do right now. WWE feels very stale. Very stale. There's some neat stuff kind of happening. Sure, we're intrigued by Bron versus Oba. I think that is intriguing. But why are we there? Why are we teasing that at this moment in time? Unless Oba is that's just like a little Easter egg for later on. I don't get it. But yeah, this promo between Roman and LA Knight. I mean, I thought LA Knight did a better job. And like, there's some stuff that LA Knight says that I'm just like, that's not really resonating, or that doesn't stick, or that doesn't feel organic. But he kept the segment moving. Can I just say that? I think Roman talking about your watch and stuff like that, that's not babyface stuff. And who cares? Like, I thought LA Knight's watch looked kind of neat. Did not look like Walmart. It just seems stupid. It seems stupid. And guess what, everybody? Wrestling fans, get how many I bet I am curious of the percentage of wrestling fans that go to Walmart. Roman, there's a lot. I don't go to Walmart because there's not one near me. And not that I'm not a fan of Walmart either. I'm not a fan. I mean, I go to Target once in a while. But I mean, I would go to Walmart potentially for stuff. So Roman, I mean, that's not really nice. It's not nice to say. Let's see. Kevin, friend of the show. He helps with the Jake Asman show. I do the social media for Jake Asman. Shout out to Jake. Let's go Jets. Kevin says, Big Dom, you're killing it. You think Roman will be on Worlds Collide strictly to stick it to AEW? Probably. Yes. So they're teasing, if you're not aware, apparently they're teasing Roman for the AAA event that's going to go down with Worlds Collide here. So yeah, I think that's probably the intent, right? You get Roman on there. It makes the event feel like a bigger deal for sure. When you have like a headline star like that on there, but on top of it too, it elevates the brand. So, and yeah, you're going up against AEW. I'm sure there's a little bit of intent there, right? Yes, I agree with Wrestling Old Ed. He says they should keep Oba and Bron as two ships passing in the night. I completely agree with that. So yeah, listen, like WWE is not good. And we keep saying that, right? It's not good right now. I mean, there's some intriguing stuff. I liked the Punk and Cody match. I liked, I mean, even the Roman and Seth match was all right, but it's like still not, it's still a lot going on. Hey, a lot going on. We got Robert in the house. What's up, Robert?
Still, there's a lot going on. I don't know what's going on.
A lot going on where Raw felt very weird, I thought, in a lot going on.
Why did Raw feel weird to you?
Well, I mean, you had Oba Femi out there, and he's got the golden opportunity to actually cash in his King of the Ring thing, and he doesn't.
Yeah.
And he's dressed like an altar boy.
He was dressed like Mordecai.
Yeah, the Mordecai.
So Raw was, and not to step on anything you may have already said, and apologize for being a few moments late. It's like a tale of two cities right now in WWE. I think that there's a situation where Roman Reigns is Schrodinger's wrestler. He's babyface or heel depending on the segment. His opening promo was a babyface promo for the most part, even to an Iowa hostile crowd, of laying out his accomplishments that were genuine accomplishments. I'm the guy who won the Royal Rumble. I'm the guy who beat CM Punk. Yeah, I'm called the old man, but I beat him. I beat Seth. Then out comes LA Knight, who is taking shots at him, which we had predicted as that would be the cannon fodder guy. And then they're talking about watches.
Yes, right.
And Noam's wearing a Rolex. So it's like, well, if you're going to do that, like at least go for the most basic observation. But it felt like Roman, coming off of SummerSlam, is a babyface. He has beaten his longtime friend, ally, foe, frenemy, whatever. They fisted each other. They're now on good terms. But then by the end of the night, he was endorsing a heinous attack on somebody. So it's very, very confusing. We saw this later on in the show that Becky Lynch made a return to go confront Liv Morgan. But Becky was a heel when we last saw her. And then she was kind of a babyface, but then she faced off with Stephanie Vaquer, who is a babyface. On top of all of this, you've got Hunter saying hey, you know, we're not just putting the same guys at the top, we're putting the guys who get over at the top. But then you had an Obafemi promo that was literally, the old guard is dead, we are the new guard, and I am holding the torch for that new guard. And now he's facing off with Braun Breaker. So it's so many different eras of the WWE melding together. It's the shades of gray, and the days of good guys and bad guys is passe. But then it's, I'm Bret Hart, I'm the leader of the new generation, and you're Shawn Michaels. Maybe I'm just trying to overprocess it. And then on top of all this, you got Javon Evans out there beating Ethan Page. You're like,
Clean.
wow, this is clean. We're getting behind Javon Evans. I guess he's part of that push of new guys. And oh no, he gets flattened by Big Cass,
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
seems as flat and dull as he always did. And I can't be the only one who noticed how incredibly quiet Corey Graves got during that Big Cass attack.
No, I saw that was a little bit talked about on social media for sure, that aspect of it all. But I think, like Cass, he was able to show a lot of personality with Jericho and stuff in AEW. And so it was a really head scratching at how they debuted him like that. I thought, and like just Michael Cole is so paint by numbers and bland in his calls. It doesn't do anybody any favors. It's just not a good way to debut somebody or show somebody a return that hasn't been there for 8 years. It felt to that point very flat, where I think Cass has more ceiling than that, so to speak. But I don't know.
He was in a bad place for 8 years apparently over in All Elite Wrestling. He was really suffering getting that guaranteed paycheck.
Well, it's from debuting him, and then you have the return of Becky and Stephanie. Like, I like the Becky and Stephanie thing. To be honest, I think they are positioning Becky as a baby face because she had the opportunity to attack Stephanie from behind, and she waited till she turned around. So I think
I think she's a little bit of kind of an in between person there. I just don't know that using Javon Evans for the cannon fodder for Big Cass when this could have been Dragon Lee versus Ethan Page. Dragon Lee maybe catches a quick pin on Ethan Page, and then, oh my gosh, here comes Big Cass.
So you think it was still okay the way they kind of?
No, I wouldn't have brought back Big Cass in the first place.
Really?
It's interesting. I feel like Scott Chappa made this point when we were talking about Baron Corbin.
Oh yeah.
That maybe because of these budget cuts of what they've been doing, that they're just paying for guys that they know are only going to be around for 6 months to a year, get the most out of them, and then just toss them to the side. So maybe it is just, let's just build Big Cass up as a guy who we can feed to somebody else and then be done with it. My genuine fear was that he was going to be the one to confront Gable and then like beat Gable for the Intercontinental title.
Maybe they'll let Corbin do that too, and he'll be a double champion. Beautiful. How beautiful would that be? Huh? I know you'd like it.
No. This is I leave another meeting and I come here for this. I don't need this kind of abuse.
Devin Dowling says he gives Raw. He said Raw was good last night, 7 out of 10. What do you think,
so,
Robert?
Raw had a lot. Here's the deal. I mean, if you kind of go through it, they had a lot of big moments throughout it. Opening with Roman in Des Moines, Iowa, was a surprise. Teeing up LA Knight as the challenger for him was what we had sort of predicted. Can't fault them for that. Javon Evans, Ethan Page was a solid match and a good showcase because Javon Evans is just one of those guys who seems hell-bent on killing himself in that ring.
He's amazing.
Dude's taking just insane bumps left and right. The Bloodline segment after this, where they're all sitting on anvil crates back there, and then Roman's like, "Hey, leave LA Knight alone." So then LA Knight walks by and starts teasing him. It was kind of fun. It was like, all right, we're setting up. You guys can't attack LA Knight. He's mine, which is exactly what we had predicted yesterday was going to be the case. Royce Keys trying to make peace with Jacob Fatu, and Jacob Fatu immediately going like, "Yeah, no, it's a street fight." It's like my friend is gone. He is a brainwashed acolyte of Roman Reigns, which furthers the Roman is a big evil heel controlling the Ministry of Darkness. Liv highlighting that she's got no challengers, and then a Sol Ruca Roxanne Perez match. That was a pretty solid match and gave her something to do. Her being Sol Ruca, which we were concerned about. And then afterwards, Judgment Day all beating her down. Here comes Becky. Here comes Stephanie. 6-woman tag in a week.
Yeah, it sounds about right, right?
And this was the kind of like night after WrestleMania vibe. I think that's where that 7 out of 10 came in. We've moved on from EO as the challenger. Here are new challengers.
Yeah, I think that is a good takeaway. I just don't think I don't trust WWE to deliver on a lot of this stuff and make it engaging because they haven't been able to do that.
Well, the advantage for right now is, speaking from experience, the August, September, October corridor
Mhm.
is sort of the lull. This is the quiet period for a lot of what's going on. So there's not as much scrutiny. There's not as many eyeballs in the WWE product. You can experiment a little bit. You can
Mm.
try with some lesser candidates. Um, you're not building up to a WrestleMania. You're not building up to a Rumble or a SummerSlam. Survivor Series is still several months away. They know they have a sold Saudi show. Money in the Bank sells itself. You can kind of test a little bit and see what's working, what's not, and that undercurrent of we just got to get through this current phase until the young guys are ready to step up fully. That Paul Heyman, Obafemi segment, that little snippet right there, that was lovely. I thought that was a nice moment to tee up what we saw later with Braun Breaker. Oba's idea of, I'm going to explain why Brock Lesnar did what he did, even if it doesn't make a ton of sense. The
Yeah,
idea that Brock he had to test himself. He had to see, and he learned a lesson. The old guard is gone. I have the torch for the future. And now it's your Obafemis and your Javon Evans and your Royce Keys and your Jacob Fatu. And then the vision. And Braun Breaker being so gobsmacked and angry and just the fuming righteous indignation that Obafemi thinks that he's the guy when it should have been Braun Breaker. I like that.
I do too. I like that. I do. I don't like that Oba's just not going for the title though. Like, wouldn't you have kicked it off like Obafemi teases at least, "Hey, Roman, I'm watching you," and
So
like,
I literally tweeted that after the LA Knight segment. I go, imagine how different this Raw would have been if that was Obafemi walking out there instead of LA Knight.
yeah, right.
But we knew that was going to be the case. Roman wants to tell whatever his story is, and Oba's going to convert the non-believers until it is undeniable that he's the guy who's going to be your world champion.
I was
Braun
talking to
Break.
this. I was talking
Sorry.
to this before you got hopped on. Do you think we're floating into Hogan Bockwinkel territory even more so now with the Oba? Like,
Been
hey, it's
saying
running
it for
long.
months. Yeah. Been saying it
Yeah,
for a while. I feel like right now what we're seeing is this notion that it's Braun Breaker and Obafemi are the two-headed monster of who's going to take over as the new leader of the
mm-hmm.
WWE. And it's just funny that this is what Hunter would book when two of the big miscalculations that they had over the years, it was, is it Brett or Sean? And we're going to pit these two against each other to the point where they real life resented and hated each other. Or is it going to be Rock or Austin? Until they were pitted against each other in real life, hated each other. And then it was, is it Batista or Cena? And then they split them up to two different shows because they had different brands. And then
Yeah,
you end up clearly having a winner and clearly having a loser in the long term within WWE. And Dave was my champ. I love Dave. But John Cena wound up becoming 1A. Batista was 1B.
yeah, for sure. I love
It's
Batista too.
it's too soon for the Braun Breaker Obafemi feud.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get there. But Hunter also knows it was Triple H and The Rock feuding for the Intercontinental title that elevated both of those guys to the level they needed to be at. I like Joe Hendry being cannon fodder. Called that.
I was okay with that because it's just like, well, I'd be more okay with it later on if it serves something for Joe Hendry. If like you turn him heel, I don't know. I mean, like do something with him. But yeah, I was okay. I was all right with that too. I mean,
And it was a good way to let Austin Theory get a little bit of heel heat, that he was the reason why Hendry was getting distracted and then Braun just absolutely demolishing him. Though Tozawa making the save, the audible laugh I let out, and it was past like 9 something at night. So the kids are asleep. Like, that is dangerous territory to be making that kind of a loud laugh watching Raw. But I laughed heartily. Um, Braun Breaker's going to murder Tozawa. We did just pass the 30-year anniversary of Kevin Nash lawn darting Rey Mysterio.
Yeah. Speaking of, this is off topic. Coffee shop I go to, my buddy that works there, he talked about how he was trying to get his girlfriend back into AEW, and he was trying to get back into AEW, and he was talking about like how none of the stories were making sense at all to them, and like how you just throwing it in there, and how weak a faction like the Death Riders look like, and his girlfriend, who's just very very casual wrestling fan, like was not taking John Moxley seriously, and I'm like, that's the kind of litmus test the wrestling promotions need. Are these are just people that are new to the thing, and then they give that perspective, and that's how we got to make the adjustments. I just, when you mentioned all that stuff, it kind of made me think about all that. So
yeah, no, makes sense. Love it. Gable's promo was great. Hey, you guys stuck with me through Shorty G. I like the Shawshank Redemption reference that he threw out there. He climbed through a river of bad gimmicks. Penta came out to put him over, and then we got them versus Judgment Day.
Makes sense.
Nice little spotlight for those guys there. Dom putting the I'm just here so I don't get fined gift the night before was hilarious. Kevin Zwicker makes a good point here. So Dirty Dom was the guy was the guy who wrestled Cena the most on his retirement tour, and Braun looked like a surefire a year ago, and now look what they are doing. We targeted, it was like September of last year when everything went awry.
Yeah.
That's that was literally where it's like, boy, we like Gunther's set up to be an absolute monster. Dirty Dom is the hottest heel in wrestling. Braun Breaker is a can't miss future star. We're in a good place, and then here's where we are. Caspian points out correctly, Shawshank is my favorite movie. It's one of my, if I had to do like one of those like letterbox things, I think it would wind up it would be on there. It's definitely an all-timer.
You wanted your 4 up there?
Boy, that's tough. It'd be a top. I don't use Letterboxd, so I don't know, but I'd venture to guess it's gonna be up there. It'd be a top 5.
I have Rocky. I have Sharky's Machine with Burt Reynolds, Slapshot, Paul Newman, and Vanishing Point. Those are my 4.
Good Lord.
Butch Cassidy and Sundance would probably be there too.
Butch it's an all-time great. Did you ever read Adventures in the Screen Trade?
No.
Well worth your time.
Ooh. Okay.
William Goldman book. Guy who wrote Butch Cassidy.
No way. All right.
That is that is it. That is an all-timer. No,
Shawshank.
my goodness. Shawshank is definitely what?
Body Slam. Would that be up there? Ready to Rumble?
Body Slam, Ready to Rumble, No Holds Barred.
The Wrestler.
No, because The Wrestler's actually a very good film.
The Vern Gagne version.
Oh yes. The Vern Gagne Wrestler one is a great one. It's it's tough because it's gonna like Back to the Future is gonna be on there no matter what. Social Network's going to be on there no matter what. And then there's like litmus test movies where if I show them to somebody and they don't like them, I'm like, I'm not going to like this person. Like State and Maine or Groundhog Day or Kicking and Screaming. The Noah Baumbach one, not the Will Ferrell Kicking and Screaming.
Will Ferrell soccer one.
It looks like I'm broadcasting live from heaven. My
blur like you can change that blur.
Relax, dude. I know. I generally do. Yesterday I had to go on a work meeting and they required using Zoom and it adjusted my blur.
Oh,
that was what happened here. A little song too. Braun Breaker and Paul Heyman. Heyman doing the whole like, well, Braun, it's kind of like you had your chance, dude, and you blew it.
Wow.
I like that.
Well, what do you think how would you utilize Paul Heyman here moving forward? Because he's like kind of teasing babyface with Oba, but obviously he's Paul Heyman. So do you trust him? I don't get it.
I maintain all along, I think what's going to wind up ultimately happening is Paul Heyman finds himself back in the good graces of Roman Reigns. I've seen what Obafemi can do. I have seen what this man can bring about. I have been in this industry for 5 decades. You need me in order to find success. Main event of Raw, by the way, I thought was a successful match. Jacob Fatu, Royce Keys. Surprised they went ahead and just gave that away on a Raw. Surprised they gave it away with a strong finish of Jacob Fatu, not only beating Royce Keys, but beating him up, and then Roman coming out there and giving them the attaboy.
Yeah.
And then the post match, like an Avengers end credit scene, Roman comes back through the curtain, and there's Rey Mysterio, not to be like, "What the hell'd you do?" It's, "Hey, I got a promotion. Would love for you to show up because we happen to have a show that coincidentally is up against AEW Dynamite or AEW All In."
Oh, and yeah. We were talking about that earlier too.
Well, I'm glad I was here for that.
What are you all right with how they handle Royce Keys in that whole situation, though?
So the only reason why it kind of works is because it was a street fight, because it was no holds barred, and if the idea of Royce Keys is still holding it back because he tried to make peace with Fatu, and Fatu's already so far gone that it's like, all right, I'm not going to make the same mistake again. You've crossed a line. Now you're getting full on, making a difference, Fatu.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I could subscribe to that. I'm just like, I just don't ultimately like how they've handled Royce Keys since he's been there.
They made him feel like an upper mid card guy pretty quickly. Him losing to Fatu is not bad. It's not like they had him lose to Big Cass. It's not like Royce Keys was the first person to challenge Baron Corbin and got pinned clean.
True. All right. It's fair enough.
We're trying here. But we'll try again tomorrow, as we do every Monday through Friday at noon Eastern on a plethora of platforms, including the WW Creative_ISH X account, the @Dominic D'Angelo X account, the @SE Scoops X account, and on YouTube on Studio One Sports and Podcast Heat. So on behalf of the guy who looks like he's dressed like a background extra from season 1 of Friends, Dominic D'Angelo, I'm Robert Karpelis. Best of luck in your future endeavors.
Let's go to the coffee shop, Joey. Me and you, acting buddies.